Okay, so I have a t-shirt which was inspired by Wolf Culture, who are an amazing company in San Francisco, and they make t-shirts, positive dog training t-shirts, okay, with positive dog training slogans on them, okay. And I got a t-shirt made up for going away, which didn't arrive in time because I wanted to get it shipped from them, but anyway, okay. Reinforcement drives behaviour is the expression, alright. So reinforcement drives behaviour. Alright, consequences change behaviour and reinforcement drives behaviour. So there's no increase in behaviour if we don't have reinforcement. Alright, now you'll hear trainers come around and they'll say to me, you know, tell me and show me how you can stop an unwanted behaviour only using reinforcement. And I've talked about this before. We train an incompatible behaviour, okay, and when we overwhelm it. So the video that I put up previous to this one, before this one, okay, was a good example of that. Okay, so me working with Logan and training fluency in the taking of the toy. Okay, can you take the toy? Can you take the toy? Can you take the toy on cue? Okay, over and over and over again, and about fluency in that. Okay, now trainers are right when they say that you cannot stop an unwanted behaviour without only using reinforcement. They're absolutely right when they say that, because reinforcement builds behaviour. Okay, now a number of things reduce behaviour. Extinction reduces behaviour, and punishment reduces behaviour. Well, they're the things which reduce behaviour. Okay, but if we want the dog to do something else, okay, which is generally how I train, we have to reinforce an alternative behaviour, because if you remove the punishment, okay, from the unwanted behaviour, and you stop punishing, and you don't train anything else, and you don't reinforce anything else, that behaviour will surface when the punishment is removed, when the aversive is removed. Okay, it is the laws of learning. This has to happen like this. Okay, it just has to. All right, so if we do not reinforce an alternative behaviour and we stop punishing the dog for doing the unwanted behaviour will come back, because there's nothing else under those circumstances that we've taught the dog. Okay, so this is why reinforcement is so important. So with the video that I just shot before this one, which you'll have seen, and if you want to go back, you can go back and look at it, I have reinforced over and over and over again Logan's interaction with me with the Kong, okay, or with the ball, over and over and over again. Okay, and I can now use that to slot into places where I need it, okay, in order to replace an unwanted behaviour. So don't do that, do this, don't do that, do this. And because of the matching law, okay, and if you're unfamiliar with the matching law, go and look it up. Okay, matching law states that if reinforcement is equal and the circumstances are the same, behaviour A, if it has been reinforced 80% of the time, and behaviour B has been reinforced 20% of the time, then behaviour A will happen 80% of the time, and behaviour B will happen 20% of the time. Okay, so it's a matching law, given that reinforcement is equal. Okay, so we reinforce the behaviours we want repeatedly, often, so we can now say, don't do that one, okay, not interested in that one's not going to be reinforced, do this one instead. Okay, and this is how you replace problem behaviours. Okay, so by focusing on building behaviour, by focusing on reinforcement, okay, then we create the behaviours that we want. And lastly on that, okay, reinforcement drives behaviour. Positive reinforcement is the dog working for something that they want, and we're using things that the dog wants to reinforce the behaviour. Alright, so we've got a positive emotional response to using positive reinforcement. When we use negative reinforcement, which is the use of pressure and aversives, and the withdrawal of that reinforces the behaviour, we now get a conditioned negative emotional response. Okay, and if you do not believe me on this, okay, think about the boss that you do not like, and when he leaves or when he goes on holiday, and the relief that you feel, and you feel that relief because he's an arse. Alright, okay, so you feel that way, and he leaves, and that relief makes you feel good. Okay, so if we're using honestly, 2019, we're still talking about this stuff, right? If we're using positive reinforcement, we build a positive emotional response, okay, good emotional response. And if we're using negative reinforcement, and these are scientific terms, we create a bad unpleasant, whatever uncomfortable emotional response. Okay, so reinforcement drives behaviour, folks. Reinforce your dog well, reinforce your dog often. Functional reinforcement, positive reinforcement, okay? Big things that your dog likes. Build a whole wheen of behaviours, okay? That your dog can rely on, and that's Aaron behind us, the Isle of Arran, okay? And not going to offend anybody. Well, I might offend anybody, okay? Irvine Beach looks nice on a sunny day, okay? So even Ayrshire looks nice on a sunny day. I don't mean I don't mean to hideously offend anybody from Ayrshire, okay? But even Ayrshire looks nice on a sunny day, okay? Love you loads, guys. Peace and love to you all, and I'll catch you next time.